Welcome back, Terrifics, to your live continuing coverage of the New York International Auto Show on BeTerrific. I'm Michael Artsis, and you're looking at dogs at the New York International Auto Show. Why? Why are you looking at dogs? Because Nissan has said dogs are really important and animals are really important, and we want to make sure that the animals you travel with that are part of your family that you have travel safely. In some states, like New Jersey, it is a law that pets be either strapped in to the vehicle if they're in the interior, or they be put in the trunk of an SUV, not the trunk of a car, but the trunk of an SUV, and either in a cage or in some kind of safety environment. So people have had to buy harnesses and seat belts and all sorts of things for their pets, which they didn't have to do before. But that's only in some states. And Nissan has gone far enough to say, you know what, we should make a car for the people who have pets to be able to travel with easily. And they OEM products now that can fit into the car modularly, and they're showing off a Nissan Rogue here. Now, I did a Snapchat with the spectacles earlier, so you can go on the BeTerrific Snapchat and see what it's like. But thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for creating such an important vehicle for our other family members, the four-legged ones.
You know, the concept that we have with the dogs, it's important to us because Nissan Rogue's positioning now is all about the family. You know, continuing on our positioning that, you know, it's all about the family, you know, we look at the different elements that are important to families, and boom, pets, dogs, they fit in right there. And there's a study that has been conducted. There's, I think, 77% of all dog owners believe their dogs have to be strapped, and the safety of their dogs is as important as the other members of their family. So
it's very hard currently to find a harness for your dog for the car that is good, that is easy to use, that people will want to use, and that works with the rest of the car. You guys have, that's why I love that you guys have given options in the Rogue, so you can either put them in the back cargo compartment in this padded environment and have a ramp for them to walk into, which is really great. So especially with a bigger dog, you don't have to lift them up. And then you have different harness clips and harnesses available inside the vehicle. Again, really important to have dog safety. Now, people only think of it for the dogs, but it's also safe for the humans who are in the car, passenger-wise. If you get into an accident, and this is why the state of New Jersey did it, they want your dog strapped in, it's A, a distraction. B, if you get into an accident, the animal becomes a projectile. The animal can get very hurt, and you could move to try and save your animal and wind up hurting yourself more. So what they've done is they've said in the state of New Jersey that you have to have the animal strapped in for all these multitude of reasons, but not every state has done that. And I love that Nissan now is saying, look, it's hard to find the right apparatus for your pet that works for your car. Instead, we're going to make a car, and then we're going to take that car and OEM parts that you can get to make it safer for your pet. I really like that.
You know, just to continue what you're saying, the concept in our project car is that all the elements are integrated, right? So they work well with one another. So you have the hairdryer, you have a 10-gallon water storage where, you know, you go on an adventure, you know, the paws need to be clean. You can hose your dog down with pressurized water, and it has a spot, it fits in, and boom, you know, you continue. Now, it's not for dog grooming or anything, but it's just that you go out on your adventure, clean up yourself, and then you get in, and then you continue on your adventure.
And, I mean, what's nice is you could drive coast to coast with this. You can drive up and down the eastern or western seaboards. It doesn't matter where you're going. You could just go to the grocery store, but your pets will be safe, and I like it. Is it modular? So if I wasn't going to take my pets for 6 months and then I'm going to take them on a journey, I can put it back into the vehicle very easily?
Well, the configurations are such that, you know, let's say in the morning you take your pets, you know, you can configure it so that, you know, it's pet friendly, and then let's say in the afternoon you go to the grocery store, boom, you can configure it in such a way that you've got just the right space for your groceries and it behaves exactly like a trunk.
See, Eric, I say you have it for your pets in the morning, your hockey bag at night. Men's league.
Pets in the morning, children at night.
Yes, can you strap the kids back there?
Well,
not yet.
yeah, I'll tell you this. Accessories is always working on stuff, so who knows?
But you can use the pressurized water to clean them off.
Which is very needed all the time. When SUVs started to become popular, by the way, I'm sure you remember this. Very illegally, we used to in the '80s ride in the back of the SUVs, facing the wrong way. There were no seats or anything. Yeah, so kids did ride back there. I was still
alive, and I rode in the back of a pickup truck.
Well, look, there are stranger things that have happened. It explains a lot, though, Eric. Have you seen the vehicle? I mean, we kind of walked over there, but it is pretty remarkable.
I've actually seen the ad.
You've seen the ad?
Seen the commercial, yeah.
Okay.
I've seen the commercial. I love it.
And you have cats, right?
I've also had dogs.
Right, but you have cats currently.
Cats currently.
Yeah, and so is there something that this could be used for cats, couldn't it?
No.
No?
Right now, this is for dogs.
Just for dogs.
Cats have razor blades of death on their little toes, and when they get upset, they like to swat.
So you don't put them in the bag?
No, heck no.
This is designed for dogs.
Right.
You know, the adaptability is different for dogs and for cats. So this is specifically for dogs.
Maybe I could get Deb over here. I don't know if we can do this, but she's with Benes, and these are the dogs. These dogs are. Let's see. Let's get you into the camera shot, Deb. So, Deb, tell me about how important it is to have animals travel with you, especially dogs, being safe and traveling in a safe environment too, because we do so much on safety of human beings, on airbags, on all sorts of things, but to have the pets actually ride safely, how important is that?
It's extremely important. I think that was a great law that New Jersey passed. I wish other states would enact that. To me, it's basically common sense. You need to have, again, the animals restrained for their safety, for the safety of your occupants in your vehicle, and the safety of anybody else driving around you. I see so many vehicles driving down the road when the car is sitting, the dog is sitting in the driver's lap with their head out the window, and they're petting Fluffy and not paying attention to what they're doing on the road.
So number one, it's a distraction, but number two, it's also not safe for Fluffy to have his head out the window, right?
That is correct. They could get their eyes, they get debris in their eyes, they get debris in their ears, they could fall out of the vehicle. It's definitely a major safety issue.
And it doesn't even have to be an accident. It could be an evasive maneuver, could it not?
Absolutely. You jam on your brakes, you make a sharp turn, anything can happen.
Are there people who won't jam on their brakes because they have their dog unbuckled in the car? I mean, I would imagine that people would be more hesitant to do that because, you remember Mom used to put her arm out.
Yes, we all do that, still do that instinctively. Yes, that's correct.
So I imagine with the kids, right? Like you do it with the kids, you got to do it with the dogs too.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't ridden with my dogs loose in a vehicle for years. And myself and my friends, we travel all over the country with our dogs.
So tell me about Benes. That's an organization that's really, you're here to demonstrate what Nissan has done and how it works, but you're really an organization that is for the wellness of pets. Yes,
also they're basically an agency out in California. The animals, travel nationally at different events. And particularly for this one, it's about the Nissan Dogue. So, yes.
So it's actually not the Rogue, it's the Dogue.
It's the Dogue.
It's the Dogue. So this is a special edition Rogue. I know somebody who's going to place an order on one. Adam's mom, Mrs. Holtz. She's I'm sure biting at the bit right now for this vehicle. They've got like three. I think they're Shetland sheepdogs. Is that correct? We just had. What's this guy's name? He just came out from underneath our control area. Baxter.
Yes, we have Baxter. We have Lyric over here, and then we have Gem.
Gem, Baxter, and Lyric. Hey, Lyric. Hey, Baxter.
So what's great about the car is that any size dog can fit into it.
Any size. I mean, I had a 110-pound Doberman at one point named Blaze. Blaze would fit back there?
Blaze could fit back there.
Comfortably?
Comfortably.
Wow.
Yep. Absolutely. And these three were actually in the back of the vehicle earlier. They were going up and down the ramp, and that's great, especially for a big dog. You don't necessarily want them jumping up at that height constantly. It's a lot of wear and tear on their bones.
And jumping down.
Correct, absolutely, especially with an older dog or a bigger dog.
Right. And then you have options for inside the vehicle as well if you want them in the passenger compartment.
Yes, there was a whole, basically an opening that they could squeeze through that Baxter demonstrated wonderfully before.
Excellent. Very cool.
You should come out and check out the hammock.
The hammock.
Yes.
The dogs have a hammock.
The dogs have a hammock.
Yes.
So the hammock for the dogs would be that they can rest in between the seats, kind of. So it goes from the back seat to the back of the front seats, and that's a place for them to rest and relax.
Absolutely.
And that's not for driving, is it? Is it okay when they're driving, or is that for like resting when the car's parked?
You could also use it when you're driving. It actually prevents them from falling into the seat cracks.
Okay.
So
And then you can still have a harness on them there.
yes.
Right, there were lots of tie-off points within the vehicle if you had a harness on that you could clip them off so they're not going to be going forward, if you had any evasive moves when you were driving.
So I think that's really awesome, and I want to take a moment to point out about taking your dogs and leaving them in a parked car. Unfortunately, it's a very dangerous thing, and people don't realize that, right? Especially if it's cold out or if it's hot out, and people think they can just crack their window, but you can't just crack the window because a car, even with the window cracked a little bit, at like 90 on a 90-degree day, can get over 100 degrees inside, which in 30 minutes could put the dog in serious jeopardy.
Absolutely, they will bake in there. They will bake. You need constant airflow.
And it's not good in the winter to have them in a cold car either.
No, especially if you have an older dog or a dog that doesn't have a lot of coat, they're going to get very cold.
So what is the advice? It's to take the dog with you and plan for that, not to leave the dog in the car really ever.
And you can, certain dogs can be left in the car depending where you're going or what you're doing, but ideally you wouldn't want the dogs left in there for a long period of time.
So you're looking at like 15 minutes, run into a store, run out of a store, leave the dog in the car, and be very cognizant of your dog and the kind of dog that you have and how it will do in this environment, and obviously the temperature as well.
As well as the time frame. Again, I wouldn't want to leave a pug in a car even if it's only 70 degrees out because they're going to have problems breathing as the vehicle gets warmer inside.
Very important when you're traveling with dogs to think of these things, and I'm glad we pointed that out.
Carry your second key, leave it idle, leave the air conditioner on, lock the car.
So that's what a lot of us do.
Yeah.
When we're traveling throughout the country, if we're at dog shows, that's what we do.
Now, how do you do that?
My golden retriever used to ride with me, and it was actually hilarious because a friend drove up behind me one day and was wondering who the blonde was that I had with me. And he used to sit, and he'd sit like this with his one paw right here, and he'd sit in the front seat.
So
It
was
was
he
awesome.
properly restrained?
I did pull the seatbelt
By
across.
the arm.
No. I actually pulled the seatbelt across. So, he had the shoulder strap across his chest.
But that's the thing is we didn't think of these things years ago. I mean, you, in all honesty, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, did you ride with your dogs restrained?
I actually did.
You did. 20 years ago?
Probably not.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
had one incident. I stopped short. Car pulled out in front of me. My dog went from the back of my car and hit the windshield.
was your dog okay?
He was okay, thankfully.
Yeah. It's important. Dog safety, especially in the car, is very important. And I'm glad that we were able to talk about this. It's a good forum. We talk about a car that makes it much more friendly and much more makes us much more able to transport our dogs, our other members of the family. But we also got a chance to talk a little bit dog safety. And I think that's really important, and pet safety on the road. These guys are really cute. And thank you for coming over here, guys, and sharing your stories. Adam, your dogs are Mookie, Moo, and what do I got? Tino, Moo, and Lexi. How could I forget Lexi? Very, very cool. Those are. I wanted to give a shout out to Adam's dogs and my dog, Nikki. How about that? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Nikki is always restrained in the car. It's very important.
Perfect.
Yeah. Are Tino, Moo, and Lexi restrained always? Yeah. I see a dog, Nissan Dogue, going to the Holtz family. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a whole lot more of your live continuing coverage of the New York International Auto Show right here. Look at Eric. He's got a new friend. You might be in trouble. I don't know if Lyric's going to go home with him. Aw, very cute. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Stay with us.